Stitch hasn't been on The Young and the Restless for a few years, so it's understandable if newer viewers aren't aware of the character and his history in Genoa City. But if you do remember the guy and just need a refresher on some of the details, we've got you covered. Actor Sean Kerrigan portrayed the Doctor from June 2013 until his exit in January 2017. Dr. Benjamin Stitch Rayburn was first introduced as an old army buddy of Dylan McAvoy's. He got the nickname Stitch from being a medic in the military. He made a few visits to Genoa City to see Dylan and act as the best man at his wedding to Avery Clark. However, after Dylan suffered a PTSD episode, Stitch decided to stick around and began working at Genoa City Memorial Hospital. Abby Newman tried to set the handsome doctor up with her mother, Ashley Abbott, but Stitch ended up growing close to Victoria Newman after he helped her deal with an allergic reaction her son, Johnny, was suffering. Eventually, Stitch opened up and it was revealed that he had a son, Max, from a failed marriage that he didn't like to talk about. After Victoria split up with Billy Abbott, she began seeing Stitch officially. Things were going fine until she got sick and he checked her medical records and was stunned to discover she was pregnant. Victoria was upset at the invasion of privacy, but forgave Stitch, and wanted to keep it on the down low until she knew whether Stitch or Billy was the baby's father. Okay, so whose eyes does she have? Mine or Billy's? Sean Smith /JPStudios.com. Stitch also had a contentious relationship with his sister, Kelly Andrews, due to his responsibility in the death of their father. But when their mother, Maureen, arrived in Genoa City, it was eventually revealed that she'd killed her husband and let Stitch take the blame. Stitch helped Victoria deliver her daughter, but the child turned out to be Billy's after all. After witnessing a close moment between Victoria and Billy, Stitch got drunk, and when Ashley tried to sober him up with a cold shower, the pair ended up having sex. Following the death of his sister, Stitch grew cold and distant towards Victoria and they broke up. He quickly found comfort with Abby, and Ashley was disturbed by this new relationship. Abby was also uncomfortable since Stitch had previously told her about his one-night stand with her mom, but things got even worse as Stitch found himself drawn more towards Ashley than Abby. He tried to focus on Abby, even proposing, but while trapped together during a fire, Stitch and Ashley confessed their love for each other. But Ashley pushed Stitch away and he ended up marrying Abby. After his ex-wife died in a car accident, their son, Max, came to live with his dad. The boy blamed Abby for his mother's death because she was on the phone with her when she crashed the car. So when Abby learned she and Stitch were expecting, Max set up a tripwire so she would fall down the stairs and miscarry. Abby was devastated by the loss, and Stitch was stunned to learn that Max had a brain tumor. After surgery, Max continued to have seizures and memory loss, so Stitch was forced to put his son in a long-term care facility. Abby and Stitch just couldn't make it work. Chris /JPStudios.com. Abby tried to cheer Stitch up and seemed to be succeeding until she suggested they have another baby together. Stitch withdrew and the couple simply pretended that things were okay between them until he decided he did want another baby just as Abby wanted a divorce. They tearfully agreed to call it quits, and Stitch disappeared from her life and the canvas. Although he continued working at the hospital, the last time Stitch was seen was treating Devon following a car accident in 2017. Might he show up again? You'll have to stay tuned to Y&R to find out. Ad block test, why?